Good morning, and welcome to your morning cereal. Okay, good morning, and welcome to Wednesday. It's hot, it's midweek, and it's Backyard Safety Check Day, which is your annual excuse to poke around your backyard or front yard, pretending you're on a home improvement show, right? But just ignore those spots where those creepy crawlies usually hide out. Save that for the professionals. Today is also National Camp Counts Day, which is a good reminder that summer camps are more than just s'mores and bug spray. They actually help kids grow socially, emotionally, and independently. And if you went to camps back in the 80s like I did, you'd probably remember the kid who jumped in the lake and they came out covered with leeches. That was a fun day. Well, maybe not for that person. And finally, it's National Day of Joy because sometimes a nicely scheduled moment of joy can mean a lot. You know, it reminds me of how it felt back in 1995 when you just found your VHS was in stock at Blockbuster. In fact, they were 3 deep. If you know, you know. Well, now here's a quote that'll give your midweek mindset a healthy boost. And it's from comedian Ricky Gervais, who once said, quote, "If you can laugh in the face of adversity, you're bulletproof," end quote. And Gervais is a master of saying uncomfortable things with brutal humor. But there's a great lesson in that, right? Life doesn't always play fair, but if you can laugh at it, you don't lose your power. So smile today, especially when it's least convenient. Well, today's news, facts, and birthdays are for June 25th, and we're going to start back in 1876. That's when on this date, the infamous Battle of Little Bighorn took place. And that's when General Custer, he met his last stand. Well, in 1947 on this date, the Diary of Anne Frank was published, giving the world a timeless, powerful window into courage and humanity. Then in 1967, the Beatles, they performed All You Need Is Love live on the first worldwide satellite broadcast. Then, skipping up to 1993, here's a classic that we all remember, the movie Sleepless in Seattle. Well, it premiered and it revived that romantic comedy, making everybody cry into their popcorn. Then on this date in 1997, you might remember this as well, that's when an unmanned Russian cargo ship, well, it crashed into the Mir space station. And lastly, this was a sad day for music because on this day back in 2009, Michael Jackson passed away at the age of 50, stunning the world. And this is one of those events that I remember where I was when I heard the news. I was in downtown Chicago at work. Where were you? All right, well, happy birthday to you if today is your birthday. You share a birthday with Dikembe Mutombo, right? You remember him? NBA Hall of Famer and shot blocking legend with a finger wag that deserves its own statue. He's 58 today. Carly Simon, she's 79 today. She's the singer-songwriter and owner of one of those most confidently vague songs in history, You're So Vain. And lastly, one of my favorites, the late George Michael. He was also born on this date in 1963. The pop icon and voice behind great songs like Faith and Careless Whisper, he would have been 61. Well, the number one song on this date back in 2001 was You Remind Me by Usher. Now, this track marked Usher's return to chart domination in the early 2000s, and it earned him a Grammy for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. Well, the song's hook about not dating someone who reminds him of an ex, well, it was relatable and it was catchy. And if you remember, the video even featured Chili from TLC, which only added fuel to the dating rumor mill at the time. Well, for many of us, You Remind Me wasn't just a number one song, it was the soundtrack to summer flings, Nokia ringtones, and long drives with the windows down and that volume up. Well, speaking of catchy hooks and timeless verses, let's pivot here from Usher's chart-topping wisdom to something equally enduring. Life management strategies that won't go out of style with your playlist. Now, we're continuing our deep dive into Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and today's focus is on the subchapter Advances of the Fourth Generation from Habit 3, which is put first things first. Now, in this section, Covey outlines the evolution of time management thinking across those 4 generations. But it's that 4th generation that holds the key to sustainable effectiveness. Okay, so according to Covey, traditional time management tools, they often focused on tasks and schedules. But the 4th generation, it shifts that focus towards people, priorities, and principles. So Covey breaks this new approach down into 5 key advances. First, balance. Covey says, quote, "The first generation of time management is based on notes and checklists. The fourth generation is based on preserving and enhancing relationships and on accomplishing results," end quote. So the fourth generation is about maintaining balance across those roles, right? Parent role, employee, friend, so that one part of your life doesn't devour the rest. Okay, here's number 2. Focus on important, not urgent. So Covey emphasizes planning based on importance rather than urgency, moving us out of crisis mode and into intentional living. And as Covey puts it, quote, "Effective people stay out of quadrants 3 and 4 because urgent things are not always important," end quote. Here's number 3, planning weekly. Instead of daily task lists, Covey suggests weekly planning, okay, which provides flexibility while keeping long-term priorities in focus. So weekly planning lets you step back, zoom out a little bit, and live more strategically. Okay, here's number 4. A people dimension, Covey reminds us that effectiveness isn't just about managing things. It's about working with people. Covey says, quote, "You simply can't think efficiency with people. You think effectiveness," end quote. Relationships can't be scheduled like meetings. They require presence, patience, and principle. All right, here's the last one. Number 5, flexibility and portability. The fourth generation system is adaptable. It's less about rigid structure and more about maintaining alignment with your mission, no matter where or how life shows up. So whether you're at your desk or in the carpool lane, your values stay with you. Okay, so here's your takeaway. The fourth generation of time management isn't about squeezing more into your day. It's about living your priorities with purpose. By focusing on roles, people, and long-term results instead of short-term fires, you don't just manage your time, you start leading your life. Okay, so whether you're checking your backyard for hazards today or chasing little moments of joy like a kid at summer camp, hey, remember this: adversity might knock, it usually does, but laughter and purpose answer louder. Thanks for tuning in to Morning Cereal this morning. We'll be back here tomorrow with more nostalgia, inspiration, and maybe a few tasty metaphorical marshmallows for your midweek s'mores. I don't know. Until then, stay safe, find some joy, and have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Morning Cereal podcast on the One Life Live It channel. You can find more episodes and videos by visiting our YouTube channel and the website at Sean Inglis and at SeanInglis.com, where you can also follow our other podcasts, the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis podcast and the Life Happens podcast. In these other podcasts, we'll dive deeper into everyday issues, self-improvement and well-being, business and finance, and we welcome special guests too. So join us. It'll be a good time, I promise. Thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.